couple months back. The time has come. After a few days, at least me internally, and I think a lot of us feeling sorry for ourselves, the players are probably trying to avoid social media all week and avoid people walking around campus after that game against Arkansas. A new win streak must begin for the Aggies. They must preserve Kyle Field and grow up because these young players are now in the second week of SEC play here, down already one with Alabama coming next week. I've told you time and time again this week, one game at a time, like a coach would tell you, like a marathon. Think about that 1 mile that you're working on. But from here on out, the Stars need to step up. I'm talking the Spillers, who's been doing it, the Aniases, the Watermeyers, the A-Chains, the Greens, the Marvin Leal. Time to go do it, and we've had glimpses from many of those guys. We need them all in the same game. And with that, we begin the Go Hour with Olin Buchanan, Heisman Trophy voter, resident ninja, and also a big supporter of the Aggie soccer team. Good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. I know you call me a ninja. I'm kind of in the Johnny Cash all black mood.
There you go. I like it.
With an Aggie soccer shirt that G. Guerreri gave me, so appreciated that.
He's
to show
great,
a little
dude.
support.
They need a win. They need. Well,
doesn't everybody
yes.
around here these days?
Yes, it's the both of those teams have some similarities in that people you expected, young players that you expected to help carry the torch this year, have gone down. So we've seen it with Barb Olivieri on the soccer side. Obviously, Haynes King going down. A lot of starters have gone down for the football team, and I am more optimistic than I was a couple days ago, but I'm still worried. I think Mississippi State can beat you, obviously, but I think the matchup works in our favor for a few reasons, OB, and one of those is they don't have a running quarterback. I think that helps.
Oh, I think that's a big factor. We talked about that earlier this week, didn't we? It's a big factor that I'm not saying that Will Rogers can't run, but right now I think he may be on the year is credited with like minus 11 rushing yards,
right?
Something like that. Now, a lot of that's being sacked, which is another good thing, and that's what they did last year against him. They were able to pressure him with 3 and then, bring somebody on a blitz. And really gave it wasn't so much Will Rogers, it was KJ Costello really gave him a hard time. So if they can, but it would appear that Mississippi State's having trouble with pass protection. So that's definitely something that
Aren't
a
we
factor.
Aren't we all having trouble with? Well, actually, pass protection has been a problem. There's just been all kinds of problems on the offensive side.
Yeah, A&M's given up something like 9 sacks already.
Yep.
But I'm not sure at least, close to half of those aren't coverage sacks or the quarterback just holding the ball too long.
Yeah. Yep. And things have got to change. And I wonder after a week of practice, the clock, it's one thing to eventually you feel comfortable in your role. And I don't know if that takes 2 years. I don't know if that takes 6 games. I don't know what it's going to take. But there's so many different problems on the offense, and we need all of them to we need people to get back from injury. I think that goes a long way. The stability on the offensive line, wide receivers coming back, who you trust. We need people not to drop balls. I saw somebody tweet out, actually, the SEC Stat Cat had it, about how many drops the Aggies have, and people from the SEC with the highest, lowest drop rate entering Week 5 with a minimum of 16 targets. You know who number 1 is?
I don't know.
Jalen Watermeyer.
I was going to say I might suspect Watermeyer, but
number 2 is Chase Lane.
I always wonder. Now Chase, I could see that because he just had a miserable game against Colorado. I wonder again what their definition of a drop is.
Sure. Yes. Yeah. I think that's great. Because some of those, there were a couple of Jalen ones that I wanted him to make the catch because he touched the ball, and there's that thinking: if you touch the ball, you come up with the ball. But they were.
Do you really penalize somebody for not making a quote circus catch?
There were. I think those start adding up and gets in here, and then some of the ones you should make now become a problem. Right. Just like Zach behind the line of scrimmage, it starts becoming mental when things aren't going right.
Yeah, I mean, I would think there's as much, if not more, mental issues than physical ones with this offense.
Yeah, but again, you get that offensive line back completely. Let's say Jameer Johnson's 100% back, Layden Robinson's completely back. I'm not saying you're going to start running the ball 6 yards a carry, but I think some stability, some strength, somewhat of veterans out there will go a longer way than what we've seen the last couple of weeks. Although it didn't look so pretty against Colorado.
No, but remember, against Colorado, that's when Layden Robinson got hurt.
Yep.
And he kind of limped through it, even though he was the most he graded out the best of all the linemen in that game. So, which is kind of I don't know what to take of that when your guy who's hurt and can barely move.
He had a good game. He did.
Yeah,
he did. And I remember him walking off the field afterwards. It was a huge limp. I mean, it was a huge limp. We've brought up several times over the last couple of weeks before the loss and now after the loss how many guys have been banged up all around too. I mean, they still don't have Caleb Chapman. Chase Lane missed last week. Mm-hmm. You know, Anias played last week, but that was in question for a couple of days. We weren't sure, and we don't know how ready he was. I think he was ready. I don't mean that as disrespect, but missing a couple of days of practice and after coming back from it, there's a lot of places on that offense that need to get healthy and grow up.
Yeah, like we said, did we say it was 5 or 6 guys that beginning the year you expected to start or were starters at the beginning of the year that didn't play last week? And we said, obviously, Haynes King and obviously Jake Matthews, Chapman, Lane.
Chase Lane, yep.
Layden Robinson.
There was a time we expected or thought Baylor Cupp would have a bigger presence to kind of balance out the tight end spot.
Yeah, and they're going with when they go double tight, they're going with Max Wright.
Right.
Hopefully they'll be more healthy this week and they'll be more productive on the offensive side and the things you brought up defensively, or I should say about Mississippi State, about Will Rogers not being a real running threat, about how they've had some issues in pass protection. Maybe hopefully A&M will be able to exploit all that.
How much better does an offense look when the defense creates turnovers?
Oh, gosh.
Right? So, like, they go hand in hand. For confidence, too. If by some way, shape, or form you get a special teams touchdown or a defensive touchdown, and now Zach is winning 10-0, the way you attack the other team, your confidence going into it, completely different.
Well, you give me 3 things, and I'm saying a really, really good defense that's playing well, a good punt return guy, and a good kicker with range, and I've got a chance to score just about every time I get the ball because I'm getting if I'm not getting a turnover, I'm making them, punt from their own 30. I get a good return, and then I only have to pick up a couple of first downs, and I'm in field goal range. Right?
When we think about last week,
I saw Alabama win a championship, by the way, with that.
Absolutely.
Back when I worked for my other job.
Right.
In the 07s and 08s and things like that. That was pretty much their formula.
Here's another thing, and this is hard with young players. Just no mental mistakes. And when I say no mental mistakes, cut down on mental mistakes. You're already hurting as an offense. Don't make it even harder. The few times you get a first down, the few times you find the way to get the ball to Anias Smith or A-Chain and pick up whatever yardage, holding, man downfield, whatever it may be.
Ball starts.
Yeah, those things, to me, that hurts you more than anything because any progress you had goes away. Unfortunately for Arkansas last week, they had a penalty on the very next play. They threw an 85-yard touchdown, whatever it was. We're not throwing it downfield that way.
Not even trying. That's to me, that's what's kind of concerning is they don't even try. And I know you can say, well, he doesn't have enough time, but I mean, you can take a 5-step drop and just go for it on a go route.
Yeah,
but and as we discussed, Arkansas knew the matchup they had and they wanted it and they got the penalty and didn't even get into the huddle. They just ran the same play because they knew what they had with a one-on-one and they had their guy. We got a one-on-one. Let's take it. And it turned out to be a huge touchdown.
One-on-one with a guy who hadn't played. They wanted the test, and it was a smart test like that.
And Mississippi State has a really good sophomore cornerback, Emmanuel Forbes. He was the guy who scored the touchdown against A&M last year when the ball ricocheted off Anaya Smith's chest and he intercepted it and turned it to a touchdown. But I've read that his status is questionable. And even if he plays, if he's not 100%, don't you want to try to challenge him deep?
Absolutely you do. Yep. Hey, so here's the topic of the day. We do this on Fridays. What's the headline going to be after the A&M-Mississippi State game out there? I've tried to come up with some cute, cheesy ones. I'm not good at this. This is Olin's category. He's the king of headlines. We'll get him to do it. But let's say hello to everybody, and let's knock on the window where Dalton is sleeping. Dalton, good morning to you.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Wow, that was a good morning. Like, I don't get that from you often.
Donnie was here, so I had to grab the mic. Donnie and a hot mic don't really mix.
Yeah, it's true.
I wanted to
That's why I like Donnie so much.
Announce my presence and make sure he knew we were live.
I would like to do a podcast, me and Donnie.
Talking about?
That sounds dangerous.
But it'd have to be, it'd have to put one of these
disclaimers.
Disclaimers, yes.
No children allowed. Do not put it on Bluetooth in your vehicle when you're taking the kids to school, kind of thing.
Recommended for mature audiences only.
What are you thinking this weekend, Dalton?
They're going to play a game. It's going to be wet.
All right,
You're welcome.
That is analysis right there. Let's go
Bet the under with that weather.
News and Social Center. Tomas Romo's in the house. Good morning to you, Tomas.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing this morning? All right. Starting off.
That was a legit laugh by you, by the way. Like, if it wasn't like sometimes you give me courtesy laughs, that one you kind of like, that was real.
You like that one?
Nah, not really.
Well, guys, starting off, Texas A&M soccer takes on Tennessee tonight. The Aggies continue their gauntlet of 5 consecutive matches against squads ranked in the top 15 as they take on the number 12 Volunteers. First kick at Ellis Field at 7 p.m. tonight.
They need that game. They have played without also, 5 or 6 starters, the COVID protocol, whatever, the health and safety protocol list, injuries to star players. It is a mirror image of what we're seeing with the Aggie football team, and they are in the middle of SEC play as the football team is as well, or the second week. They've got to get it. What else, Tomas?
A&M hosts Mississippi State in SEC home opener. A&M looks to get back on track against the Bulldogs on Saturday night as they take on Mississippi State under the lights at Kyle Field.
Well, under the lights, a lot of lights are going to be on them because they need to score some points, buddy.
They need to, or play some great defense, and not just good defense, but great defense. Last year, they gave up 7 points as a defense. And those 7 were pretty much garbage, just didn't, the game was secure.
One thing we have learned, though, this is not last year. It's not last year's team. Now, there are some similarities defensively at times, right?
Yeah, what gives me some hope is like a Buddy Johnson, who A&M is missing severely. He would not be as much of a factor in a game against Mississippi State, you would not think.
They're not running. Right.
But Bobby Brown would be, who was able to get that push, even though I don't remember if he even played in that game last year, because remember he got hurt the week before celebrating a sack against Florida?
Yep.
I'd have to go back and check, but I don't think he played.
Tomas left before we could read any headlines. Thank you, Tomas. Appreciate you. I'll read a couple. Let's see. This one. Oh, this one's not about the topic, but we'll read it. Brad and Brian. Do y'all think we're going to beat Alabama like Jimbo said? Brad from Bryan, Texas. I don't believe he said it like that.
No, he didn't.
Do I think? I'm not even thinking about Alabama right now, other than I'm going to have to say hi to people that are coming to town because it's going to be such a party. That's going to be regardless of what happens this weekend, that is the game in the SEC, the lights, the CBS coverage. Everybody's coming to town. I think I saw that Clay Travis's group is coming out here, the Outkick guys. So do I think they're going to be Alabama? As of right now, no, absolutely not. I don't think they're going to beat Alabama today. I said this yesterday to the fan show guys. How do we feel about Alabama? And I don't want to jump ahead, but I'm doing exactly what I don't want to do. If next week or this weekend they score 35 points on Mississippi State, they've simplified the offense, the defense is playing great, does it give you any, at least excitement for that game? Not that you necessarily think they're going to win, but all right, it looks like they've kind of turned the corner and they're not a pedestrian offense anymore.
I think, quite honestly, that no matter what happens with both games, I'm going to be looking at that Alabama game, hoping that you can hang on and make it a fourth quarter game, but not being optimistic.
I get that. We got to pick some games when we come back here.
Okay.
We got our pick six to get into. If you want to be a part of the discussion, you can do that on the A&B text line, 979-693-1150. You can call the BCSI hotline, 979-693-1150. Right now, a moment for the Association of Former Students. Going to have some lunch with Randy next week. We're going to be planning some stuff, teaming up together over there, and they just do wonderful work for over 140 years. The association has been giving to the Aggie Network, guys. They are in support of the Aggie Network. They are here, they are there, they are everywhere. That's what they do. Here, there, everywhere. Think about that. They're helping everybody around the world, Aggies with so much pride out there. And they've got the scholarships that they give out there to the Warrior Scholar Project. You've got the academic scholarships to students. You've got multicultural servicing programming with cultural councils. And none of that is possible without your help there to the Association of Former Students. Giving back to the association is simple. You can become a Century Club member. I'm one. You should be one as well. $100 a year, $9 a month. You get the decal, the plaque, the Texas Aggie magazine. Plus, you are continuing in the oldest, most inspiring tradition of Aggies helping other Aggies. To learn more about the impact of the association, get involved or make a gift, visit aggienetwork.com/giving.
The Zone Daily Newsletter, emailed to you each morning at 8. Sign up now. TheZone1150.com.
This is Aaron Dawson.
And I'm Olivia Dawson.
Won't you join the Folds of Honor and Allen Academy by supporting the annual Cadet Golf Classic and Patriot Dinner hosted at Miramont Country Club, Sunday, October 17th through Tuesday, October 19th.
The Cadet Golf Classic is an 18th-hole, four-man scramble designed to raise scholarship funds for the families of fallen and disabled veterans through Folds of Honor, as well as financially supporting Allen Academy, an independent school in Bryan.
For more info or to register, please visit thecadet.org, and thank you for your support.
At Social Security, we are always thinking of ways to save you time and make things easier. That's why we created My Social Security. Opening a My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal record and interactive tools tailored for you. You can see if you are eligible to receive benefits, view spousal benefit estimates, and compare retirement benefit estimates at different ages or dates when you want to start receiving benefits. Already receiving benefits? Use your account to change your address, set up or change direct deposit, get a proof of income letter, and more. In most states, you can also request a replacement Social Security card. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security. Securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Hello, St. Joseph Eagles fans. Listen to St. Joseph Eagles football throughout the season on KEDC 88.5 FM. St. Joseph Eagles football is brought to you this season by these local businesses: Jason Bainski Realtor, Lone Star Roof Systems, Law Office of Jeff Paradowski, Kraus Paint and Body, Wings and More, Blinn College, and Serve Pro of the Brazos Valley. Listen to St. Joseph Eagles football on KEDC 88.5 FM. Special thanks to all of our St. Joseph Eagle football sponsors.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Max Kellerman.
I think Joe Burrow's done a terrific job since his time as a starting quarterback. He's young, he's learning, he has a little bit of experience, but not enough experience to win that division. Jamar Chase was the right pick for them and what they want to do in the passing game. The only problem that I have is, can you keep Joe Burrow upright and not on his back throwing the football to a guy that they targeted the entire time?
Yeah, protection is key, but I also think that the mental reassurance after seeing Joe Burrow get hit a couple of times, after seeing him make some people miss. I don't think everyday people who haven't gone through injury understand how dynamic that can make you feel when you start to trust your body again. There's a certain level, like when you get hurt, like you don't trust yourself at the same level, but when you start doing things like that, you start to believe in your own ability, and that can unleash different opportunities.
Listen in to Key, J. Will, and Max, powered by WC Tractor from 5 to 8 on the Zone.
Obie's favorite.
makes me want to play some air guitar.
It does, doesn't it? It does have that little Michael J. Fox Back to the Future. It is TexAgs Radio. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. OB, you know what you're doing a week from today at this exact time?
Talking on the radio, but doing it at Rollo Insurance's new offices.
That is correct. It's a grand place. I love it out there. We're going to be doing our live show there right before the Alabama game, obviously, next Friday. The whole gang's going to be out there. Great event for an even better cause. They're trying to give back to the Down Syndrome Association of the Brazos Valley, DSABV, which means so much to our community. They just work selflessly and help out those with Down syndrome here in the Brazos Valley. And you guys know, if you know somebody with Down syndrome, what a gift they are to this world. Make a small donation to DSABV in the name of a person who has blessed you. It takes about 30 seconds. Go to dsabv.org/Rollo2021 and make sure that your gift gets matched. They are prepared to match your donation dollar for dollar. So no donation is too small. Think about that, guys. So if you give $5, they're going to match it. If you give $100, they're going to match it. Let's see if we can raise at least $3,000. dsabv.org/Rollo2021. And as a reminder, we're doing the show from there. On-site entry to win. You got Jackson Schlossnagel and the band Nomadic. They're going to be performing out there. Coach Schlossnagel is going to be there as well from 11 to 11:30. You got the ribbon cutting. You've got Taco Boss providing food out there. And the prizes. Yeti Tundra Hall wheeled cooler is possible, right? You just need to go to rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs to submit your no strings attached entry to win. Also, $250 gift card. And my favorite, I'm going to submit. I don't care. I'm going to be on site. I'm going to try to win the Glock 19X. Because you were telling me a story. Can we talk about that story?
Yeah, sure.
You're telling me a story about the two greatest dogs in the world right now.
I guess it's two. It might be more, but there's a guy in Georgia. He comes home from work to find a dead guy on his front porch.
Right.
I mean, imagine that. So he calls the police, and they do the investigation and an autopsy, and the guy had broke into his house. I guess was going to, obviously burglarize the house, but the owner had some dogs who attacked him and mauled the guy to death. And the investigation showed the attack started in the house, and apparently the guy was trying to get away from the dogs. And, he only made it as far as the porch. Now, I'm sorry that anybody lost his life, but stay out of other people's houses, because you don't know what kind of dog they might have in there.
Yeah.
And, I've got a big dog. I don't know what he would do, but he'd probably lick them to death.
Right.
But anyway, right now the dogs have been taken, and they don't know what they're going to do with them. I have to give them a medal.
Please.
Give them a big bowl of Alpo.
Let me tell you how proud I would be of my dogs. I have one that would potentially destroy a human if they came over, but the other one would play. I would be so proud if they protected our house like that. There's no reason to do anything with those dogs but give them an extra bowl of Alpo.
Or whatever.
Right?
The kibble of their choice. By the way, let me throw this in here too.
Please do.
My favorite breakfast spot, they have a young man with Down syndrome that works there. And it's, he just brings joy. You sit there and eat, and he's doing his job, and he always has his earbuds in, and he's singing and he's dancing. You can tell everybody that works there really has a good rapport with him, and it's just one more thing to make you smile.
Right.
On a weekend day when we go over there, usually every Saturday.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
That is beautiful. Hopefully people will get involved and hang out with us, but obviously give back. It would be so important to give back. And I'll give you guys the website once again. Let's see if I have it right here. dsabv.org. dsabv.org /Rollo2021. Make a donation. No, not too small, not too large. Just go do it. It is time for our Pick 6, OB. We kind of wasted some time beforehand, so we're going to have to run through these. Or should we wait till the next segment? I'm going to let you play.
Do we have to do the headline? What's your headline? Do you have a headline? I want to hear your headline. Or should we do that later?
Let me go get my headline, because I have it. Do you have one ready to roll?
Well, I've always got to just think of something off the top of my head, because I always forget where
mine
we're
is
doing
terrible.
This.
For the record, mine sucks.
Okay, here's mine. Because I think an A&M's going to win. So follow me on this.
Okay.
Aggies right their ship.
Oh, yeah.
Sink Pirates.
I like it. See, this is why I should consult with you. You just did that on the fly. Do it again. Say it again.
Aggies right ship, sink Pirates. Possessive.
Yeah.
Apostrophe S, Pirates.
That's so good.
You like that?
So mine's terrible.
Okay.
I wrote 2. All right, I wrote 2. And they're so bad. And you know what? I'm expecting the heat from Jay David and everybody else who hates me. Aggie's defense does the biting, defeats the Bulldogs. After we had that conversation about the dogs, I think it kind of fits.
I kind of like that. Did you put it DA or is it THE?
No, THE.
Okay. Defeats the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and then the second one, because I wrote 2, because I just start writing. A&M gets back on track and beats the Pirate at his own game. They're gonna score some points this game, buddy. At least that's what I'm hoping.
So do I.
That's what I'm hoping. All right, let's do this.
We were so depressed after the loss last week. I don't even want to.
Yeah, look, the mood around town. Like I forgot what it feels like to. So when I worked in television, I think I said this before I took the job here. There's 2 things that piss. I can't say that. I think I can.
Piss you off?
Nah, that upset me.
You don't have to say it. I will.
But there's kids maybe. They should be at school.
They should be at school. Yeah.
There's things that upset me in this world, and it used to be the Oilers. Oilers, as you know, the 35-3 game. There are certain sports that just when they happen, they destroy me. I don't have the same love for the Texans. James Harden, Steve Francis, those guys ruined my love for the Rockets. But I will say Astros put me in a bad mood when they lose. But nothing puts me in a bad mood like the Aggies losing. But luckily, when I worked on the TV side in Houston, I was occupied with other sports I had to cover. So, you know, I remember the Johnny Manziel Alabama game in 2012. I was watching it, and I'm like, I go on the set as the game is ending. I'm in the greatest mood. Like, the endorphins are kicking. I'm in a great place. But there's been some times, like UCLA, that I broke a remote, maybe at Channel 13. Don't tell anybody.
Wait, Nuno, I thought at 13 y'all were told to hate A&M and you got marching orders and
never,
all that. Oh.
Never were told that. Never. There was never anything on the teleprompter to tell Greg Bailey or myself to say anything, you know, to pump up other schools or anything. Never had that meeting. If it happened without me.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. Huh. But it puts me in such a funk. But luckily I could, like, you know, divert my attention elsewhere and just try not to think about it. This is what we do. I live it. You live it. This is so we are in the funk with you. So
we're in Funky Town.
See, you're funny. All right, we'll do a little.
If only we could do bumper music the whole time.
And so I did this yesterday. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Can you look at that smile you gave? Just give everybody that smile. Just look at that smile. You don't need Dr. Elms when you've got a smile like Olin Buchanan. But some of you. Try not to smile, guys. I've seen it. It's not a good look. Dr. Troy Elms and Dr. Jeremy Stewart, they are here to help you out at Elms Orthodontics. They do such a great job. They are on the bypass here in College Station, and I know a lot of you are in a similar phase that I'm in with Elizabeth there at home. You got kids that their teeth are coming in, some crowding happening, and you know they're about to get to that age where they really care. Go to Dr. Elms. Go to Dr. Stewart. They're going to take wonderful care of you. They've got Invisalign. They've got the braces. They're just going to do an amazing job out there for you. Dr. Elms has been around since 86, class of 86, mainstay in our community. Dr. Jeremy Stewart, class of 03. Get a free consultation right now, 1501 Emerald Parkway in College Station. The phone number for Elms Orthodontics, 979-693-6300, or learn more online at drelms.com.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on The Zone. Starting Friday, sip your way around the Brazos Valley with Coffee Crawl, benefiting the Children's Museum of the Brazos Valley. Get free coffee from your favorite local shops. Buy your Coffee Crawl tickets online at cmbv.org. The CSHS Cougar Band and Guard will kick off the competition season with a live community performance of their show, Emotions of the Heart. Come out to the CSHS Stadium on Friday at 6 p.m. for the free show. The theater company presents the musical comedy The Wedding Singer. Performances run through Sunday. Purchase tickets online at theatercompany.com. St. Thomas More Catholic Church is holding its Fall Fish Fry on Saturday, October 9th from 11 to 3 at the Community Center at Hilltop Lakes. Your home for football with the Fightin' Texas Aggies, the Bryan Vikings, the Houston Texans, plus Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night NFL from Westwood One is Sports Radio 1150 and 93.7 FM. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
If you have a debit card, you're used to spending money. But what if your card actually ended up earning you money? That's not exactly normal, but that's what you can get at A&B. It's called Kasasa Cashback Checking. Don't mind the weird name. What you need to know is that it's a free account with cash rewards. Use your debit card for everyday purchases, and we'll pay you cash back every month. If that doesn't sound like normal banking, well, guess what? we're not a normal bank. So contact A&M. B today and ask for Kasasa or visit ANB.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
'Tis time once again to set thy spirit free. Join Bud Light in a toast to the 47th Texas Renaissance Festival. Open weekends in October and November, beginning October 9th. A land of magic and merriment, chivalry and romance. Artisans and wares from distant lands. Deliciously enticing food. Games of skill and chance. Plus the finest actors and musicians in the realm. The King and Queen await your arrival. Tickets available now at TexRenFest.com. Opens October 9th.
Bryan Broadcasting is your home for high school football. Bryan High, A&M Consolidated, Rudder, and College Station High play on the Bryan Broadcasting family of stations. No matter where you are, hear every play, every game, all season long. Thanks to Amarillo National Bank, Blinn College, BCS Toyota, and Ed Phillips Plumbing. To find out when and where to hear your favorite team, go to brazosfootball.com.
You can hear every Aggie football game, home, road, national championship, right here on Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Game Day on the Zone is brought to you in part by Stephen Gustitis, attorney at law, BCS All-State agent Jerry Anderson, and Higginbotham Insurance. 30 minutes after every A&M home game, tune in for the Twin Peaks Call-In Show, powered by TexAgs.com.
Yep, I know the songs. It's jamming on TexAgs Radio. Presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. If you're in the market for an engagement ring, I know a lot of you are, wedding bands or Sackaway anniversary ring, save the date for David Gardner's Ring in Season promotion. That's coming up soon, guys. I've been talking about it for a couple weeks. October the 13th through the 16th. David Gardner's going to have an extended selection of diamonds, engagement rings, wedding bands, and more. Don't miss an opportunity to swing by while they have the largest selections of the year at the best prices. Go to davidgardnersjewelers.com, click on the engagement tab, and scroll to the bottom to set up an appointment. Looking forward to seeing what you guys do out there with that. All right, if you want to get in on the conversation with our cheesy headlines or legit headlines, as OB does, you can do that on the A&B text line, 979-693-1150, or you can call the show on the BCSI hotline, 979-693-1150. OB, it's time to pick six.
All right.
You look like you're struggling with the idea. You just
there's some tough calls this week.
There are some good ones,
and I think I'm leading, but I may be last after this week.
I know you care. You are a very competitive man. You are You know
what?
You care. I love it.
I didn't. I've been roasted too many times in the past because I didn't care. Because I would not look into it. And one year, a couple of years ago, Gabe was just taunting me unmercifully. So I actually started paying attention, trying to make and I ended up beating him.
Well, that's all that matters.
But and then Liucci was giving me a hard time last year, so I'm putting a little bit more emphasis into making my choices.
Well, you had a great week, and I remember driving back from Jerry's World. You were listening. Where were we listening? Oklahoma, West Virginia, Florida, the Florida-Tennessee game.
Yeah,
we were listening to those, so it was good.
I needed Florida to score again, and they did.
They did score again. That's right. All right, here's our pick 6 for Week 5. The first game is our game, Mississippi State, 2-2. All right, they're 0-1 in SEC play at number 15. Texas A&M 3-1, obviously 0-1 in SEC play as well. 6 o'clock here, Kyle Field on the SEC Network. A&M is favored to win by 7.5. What say you?
Man, I think I'm going to have to take Mississippi State. If it was 6.5, I'd take A&M. I could see them winning by a touchdown, but the way the offense is playing, I don't want to just assume that they're going to win by 2 scores.
Yeah.
So I'd take Mississippi State.
I'm taking Mississippi State as well, but I think A&M's going to win the game. But just until I see some offense, I can't. Winning by 7.5 just seems like a huge number at this moment. All right, the second game. Number 8, Arkansas, 4-0. At number 2, Georgia, 11 a.m., Sanford Stadium. And what are you going to say? The spread, is 18.5.
18.5. This is why I'm going to finish, probably end up being last next week. I'm going with Georgia.
I am too.
I'm going to give all those points because I believe that Georgia's going to play better defense than A&M did.
Yep.
And they only scored 20 points, and 3 was given. But I think Arkansas was just so invested emotionally completely last week that there may be a hangover there. And also, I don't know what status KJ Jefferson is in.
Yep. I think that goes a long way. Third game, a game that I'm really intrigued by. Very intrigued by. Number 12, Ole Miss. They're 3-0. At number 1, Alabama. They're 4-0. 2:30, Bryant-Denny Stadium, CBS. Bama favored by 14.5.
Alabama wins. I'll take Ole Miss in the points.
I'm taking Bama in the points. And the reason being is because everyone expects this. Not everyone. But this is one of those Nick Saban statement games. Like, everyone said that they scored 48 on us, and we're ready for them this time. I could see Nick having one of those performances that, like, too many people are talking about Georgia and discounting what Saban's doing there at Alabama this year, even though they're number 1 and all that good stuff. I'm going Bama big.
Okay.
Although, like 3 days ago, I thought Ole Miss was going to win the game. So I've changed my mind already a couple times. We move on. Number 22, Auburn, 3-1. Taking on LSU, 3-1, who's 1-0 in SEC play, 8 o'clock, Tiger Stadium. LSU is favored by 3.5.
I'd have to give up 3.5 points. I'll take LSU.
I'm taking LSU as well.
I think LSU at home. Auburn I know they played reasonably well against Penn State, but I still don't know what Penn State is. Auburn struggling. Probably should have lost last week.
TJ
Finley. That could be, that's almost enough for me to take Auburn. Because last time I saw TJ Finley, Ed Orgeron was just really letting him have it for that Buddy Johnson interception. But how good would that feel if he was the starting quarterback and won?
Right.
But I'm going to take LSU.
Number 5, we've got number 6, Oklahoma. Whatever. 4-0, 1-0 in Big 12 at Kansas State, 3-1, 0-1 in the Big 12, 2:30, Bill Snyder Family Stadium on Fox. OU favored by 10.5.
They always have trouble with Kansas State.
They do.
I'm going to take Oklahoma to win by a couple of touchdowns because, number 1, I don't think Kansas State's very good. But number 2, if they're ever going to prove or even give any semblance that they are the team that they're hyped up to be, this is the week to do it after you escaped West Virginia. Now, after you escaped West Virginia and you've escaped Tulane and you've escaped somebody else, if you go out and have a hard time with Kansas State, then I'm ready to say, you know what, you're just an average football team.
I am taking K-State, but OU is going to win just because I think you are who you are. I hate to say that about A&M, but they are who they are right now with their current injury situation. I don't think Oklahoma's got the same situation we're going with. They're booing their quarterback. They're not doing what we expect them to do offensively. I think OU wins that game. They stay undefeated, but K-State makes it a game. Our last game, number 7, Cincinnati, 3-0. At number 9, Notre Dame, 4-0, 1:30 at Notre Dame Stadium. Cincy is favored by 2.5.
I'll take Notre Dame in the points.
Okay.
I don't like Notre Dame. My sister-in-law is a big Notre Dame fan. It causes a lot of problems, in the family if we're all together. But I don't care. I just think, as much as I hate to say it, I think Notre Dame across the board has more talent.
Yeah.
Better quarterback at Cincinnati. And Cincinnati, they're they keep getting hyped up because I guess they're a good underdog story. But both those teams desperately need this game.
Well, I wrote down taking the points, but I had it wrong. I think I agree with you. Similar to the Oklahoma game, I think Notre Dame playing at home, feeling better. Cincinnati, I'm not impressed with Notre Dame for the record, but I think Notre Dame's going to win by more than 2.5 points.
So Notre Dame's given the points?
Yes.
Oh, I thought they were getting them.
Notre Dame favored. Oh, excuse me. Cincinnati favored by 2.5. I still said it wrong. Notre Dame's going to win that game. Sorry.
Yeah. It's going to be close. I get some points. I'll take them.
Okay. Good stuff. So here we go. 3 things we want to see from the game this weekend. You got 3, or you want me to start?
Oh, well, I'll let you start, and then I'll.
Okay.
You are the host.
Yeah, with the most.
Yeah.
Most trouble on the show. All right. I want to see, and I'm asking for a lot here, consistent line. All right? The guys that we expected to start the season, kind of, I want them out there, right? I want Jameer Johnson out there. I want Layden Robinson out there. I want Kenyon Green where he's supposed to play this year. I want people in their natural spots to get as much protection.
Where is that for Kenyon Green?
Well, now I'm confused. At one point, he was going to play tackle, then he went back. I don't know.
Okay.
But wherever he feels most comfortable, where he can dominate, let's go ahead and do it. I know he wants to play tackle this year, or that's the team wanted to push him in that direction. Fine. Let's get it going, okay? I would like to see, Layden and Kenyon on the same side, dominating. I'd be very excited to see that. So that's the first thing I want to see. Second thing, and I'm asking for a lot again, but I think it's very doable, a defensive or special team score. I mean, it's possible. We've done it this year already from the defensive perspective, right? Leon had his pick 6. So let's play with some extra points, for lack of a better term. Take the burden off the offense a little bit. You're up, like I said in the open, 10-3 because of a defensive touchdown. You got the ball, you're driving. 13-3 feels great. Get a field goal. But just give me some kind of touchdown that does not come from the offense. And then maybe the offense gets a little better.
Mississippi State's had some problems in punt coverage. I'm not just talking about the bogus punt return that Memphis got.
Right.
They're not really strong on punt coverage.
Remember when you earlier talked about the dogs that attacked the criminal? Here's the third thing I want to see. I want to see the dogs come out of that Aggie defense. I want to see some freaking tackling to hurt somebody. I don't want anybody hurt, but I want that kind of attitude. Like
bone crunching.
Yeah, I don't want patty cakes. I don't want to touch your shoulder pads out of bounds or into the end zone.
Yeah, I don't want to push you. I don't want them to push the opponent toward the end zone.
I want you angry. I want you so mad that that football is like belongs to you, and how dare they have the ball, and you're going to make them hurt for it. That's the kind of defense I want to see. I know they're great. I want them to make the other team realize how great they are and how physical they can be. I want angry defense this weekend.
Okay. Well, I want to see a good pass rush, good, strong pass rush, good, strong, consistent pass rush. That's number 1. I want to see turnovers. I want to see turnovers forced by A&M.
Yep.
And I want to see, you kind of touched on it, I want to see a line that good line play, which to me also means, underline it, a minimum penalties. I was watching that movie Patton. General Patton says, I don't like to pay for the same real estate twice.
Yep.
Don't keep putting yourself back where you have to get that, regain that 5 yards that you lost, because you got to understand that those 5 yards aren't coming easily.
All right, when we come back here on the program, your text messages on the A&B text line. We'll even potentially get on to the BCSI hotline right now. I want to talk about my friend Chance McClain and Heritage Films. You know, I had the fan show guys out here, and Matt Branning was listening. He's like, man, he does like actual documentaries about you, about your dad? Like, yeah, he like legit. And I'm, oh, yeah, like first class? Oh, very like Hollywood. Like, wow. I'm using the word like a lot, like a high school girl. But the truth is, that's what he does. He does great work. He tells your story. He tells your dad's story. And think about it for a minute. We all have stories that need to be preserved because it's for your family. It's your last name. It's your name of your family. And where it all started for me, it's with my dad, who fled Cuba in the 60s to come to this amazing country, to leave communism, right, in pursuit of what the American dream is all about. And I want that story, how he got out, like how he had to hide in the Argentinian embassy and sneak into there while they were looking for him in Cuba. I want those stories told by him, not by me, by my dad on tape for my children. And I think you guys all have similar stories out there. Isn't that a great story? Yeah, that's the facts. Like, they were looking for my pops. And, you know, he was part of, you know, trying to overthrow Castro, which, by the way, can we just overthrow Cuba right now? Just me asking out there. But yourheritagefilm.com is the story, is the website, 713-893-8341, 713-893-8341.
Your home for Texas A&M women's basketball is Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone. The Zone.
Howdy, y'all. This is Cullen Gillespie, former 12th man. I've always tried to help my team on and off the field. And now I'd like to help Texas A&M fans like you cut their electricity bills in half. Yep, in half. It takes less than 5 minutes and you'll save hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars every year. 90% of Texans overpay for electricity, so don't be one of them. Sign up today at EnergyOgre.com and use code GILLY, G-I-L-L-Y, for a free month of service.
Aggie football is here, and Texas A&M Transportation Services offers parking and shuttle options. Pay $25 cash to park near Bush Library, Bonfire Memorial, or Agronomy Road. Ride the free Downtown Bryan shuttle. For pre- and post-game traffic and parking info, or to purchase parking before the game, visit Destination Aggieland within the TAMU app, download the Park Mobile app, or visit transport.tamu.edu/football.
For those parking with an annual permit, be ready to show us your permit barcode printed on paper or on your smartphone screen. Follow us on Twitter at GetToAggieGame.
Maroon U is your ultimate stop for brand name apparel, gifts, and accessories for the entire family. From Columbia, 47 brand, Yeti, Dooney & Burke, and Adidas, we're able to outfit you for every occasion. Visit Maroon U and our family of companies on Holloman Drive in College Station to shop the latest in brand name Aggie merchandise. Shop Maroon U today. Voted best in Nebraska's best gift shop since 2016. Maroon never looked so good with Maroon U.
Howdy, it's me, the Roofer Girl, Rainy Night, Class of 90. Aggieland Roofing is proud to promote Breast Cancer Awareness Month by donating a portion of every roof sold in the month of October to Pink Alliance, Brazos Valley's very own breast health and support advocate. Join us by supporting our local women and urge every woman to get a mammogram. If your roof needs are large or small, commercial or residential, make the official roofer of Texas A&M your roofer. Thank you for your support. Shop local, shop licensed, and call me, the Roofer Girl, at Aggieland Roofing.
You can hear the Paul Feinbaum Show weekdays 2 to 4 here on The Zone. Presented by Polaris Fund Center. Paul Feinbaum is SEC Country. And Aggieland is SEC Country too. Join Paul weekdays 2 to 4 here on The Zone. Polaris Fund Center, where you can get a $500 rebate on any 450 or 570 Model A TV. Or $2,000 cash back on a Polaris XP1000. Polaris Fund Center, where they sell and service fun, not tractors. The voice of the SEC. And you can hear Paul Feinbaum weekdays from 2 to 4 on The Zone.
You can hear Astros baseball all season and postseason long on Sports Radio 1150 and 93.7 FM, plus Gospel 97.3 FM, thanks to Kelly Burt Dozer. The Astros look to make another World Series run. You can hear the games on The Zone or on Gospel 97.3 FM, thanks to Kelly Burt Dozer. The Houston Astros, the World Series. Listen in, all thanks to Kelly Burt Dozer.
Hey, I love when I have conversations behind the scenes with OB. We got a bank on it, man. It's presented by Vera Bank, by the way, authentic relationship-based banking built for real life. Go see Joel Jackson on the team. Learn more at verabank.com. Sometimes we just chat here. You know, it's TexAgs Radio presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. And, buddy, you've got some friends in high places.
I've got some good friends in this town. Everybody does. It's a great town. We were talking about the my favorite breakfast place, and the young man with Down syndrome works there. So the I guess general manager, a friend of ours, Tat Bentz, brought us by some shrimp and grits.
So nice.
So you can take it to the bank that I'm going to have shrimp and grits for
You can
breakfast.
take that to the
Now,
bank.
I don't think I can say the name of the place, but just I'm going to be, if you had an egg and broke it, you might get another broken egg later.
That is so well played. So well played. I heard Dalton laughing. You know when you make Dalton laugh and you can hear it through the walls?
Yeah.
Well played.
He's probably laughing because he's getting free breakfast.
Tomas going to be mad at us because we're probably not going to have time for a text message because we got to bank on something. I'm banking on Michael Clemens. I'm banking on DeMarvin Leal having a sack. That's what I'm banking on. Will Rogers, you can't run on this.
I'm banking on another long touchdown run by Isaiah Spiller or Devon A-Chain. But somebody's going 50 yards plus.
So over the last 3 games, those two guys, Michael Clemens and Marvin Leal, have combined for 6.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, and 7 quarterback hurries. That's with real fast quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I don't think Will Rogers is in that category.
Yeah. The only thing with Clemens is he does have a heck of a matchup against Charles Cross, the tackle. But, Clemens was in here, the office last week.
Yeah.
That's what I looked like before I got sick.
That's a man. Yeah, that's. I remember those pictures of you. Glamour shots of you?
That guy should be, he looks like a statue.
He does. That is OB. It's the Go Hour. Thanks so much. Billy Liucci next here on TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers.
Howdy, this is Steve Bledsoe, fighting TexAgs class of '83, with some exciting news. Veribank is now open with our new full-service location on Highway 6 in College Station. With personal bankers, business bankers, Veribank has everything you need in one convenient location. Come see for yourself where genuine banking is waiting for you, and you can bank on it.
Visit verabank.com today. That's VERA bank.com. Verabank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Our publications reach every corner of the Brazos Valley, and we want to partner with you in sharing your message with the community. You may recognize a few of our Bryan Broadcasting publications.
Best of the Brazos Valley.
Brazos Life, the annual manual.
Welcome home, Brazos Valley.
Brazos Family. Brazos Wellness.
Brazos Valley Bride.
Peace, Brazos Christian Life.
With the combined power of 7 magazine titles, 11 radio stations, and digital solutions, Bryan Broadcasting Publications can help you be heard. Call 979-695-9595 to learn more.
Like us on Facebook at Zone 1150. Follow us on Twitter at Zone 1150. Get connected now. Now. With the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. This is KZNE College Station, Bryan.
From WTAW, I'm Chelsea Reber with a news update on the Zone. During September, 51 Brazos County residents died from coronavirus, and the number of active cases increased by more than 1,800. The health district reported 6 more COVID deaths yesterday. Read more pandemic information at brazoshealth.org. The Pink Alliance Breast Cancer Support Organization holds its 18th annual Surviving and Thriving Luncheon. This year's speaker was Lori Allen, star of TLC's reality shows Say Yes to the Dress Atlanta and Say Yes to the Dress Bridesmaids. Allen is also a breast cancer survivor. She says with COVID stealing some of the spotlight from other illnesses, it's important now more than ever to be aware of your health.
I think last year we all shied away from our health. We stayed home. We didn't do any events, any breast cancer events. We didn't get out there and talk about it. We didn't share our stories last year. And I think as a result, in fact, I know some of my friends have been diagnosed with breast cancer that should have been caught earlier.
The entire interview with Lori Allen can be found online at WTAW.com. Two members of the Bryan City Council continue to tell residents in their districts to apply for positions on city advisory bodies. That was part of the update from Councilman Prentice Madison.
It's really good because me and Councilman Ream, about a month or two ago, we had a town hall meeting over at the Carver Kemp Neighborhood Association building. And one of the concerns that we announced is that we don't have enough applicants that put in applications for boards and committees for District 1 and 2.
Madison and Reuben Marine are completing their 5th year on council. Brazos County Commissioners at this week's meeting took the next step towards building the future home of the Precinct 1 Constable and Justice of the Peace offices. Commissioners approved soliciting bids and naming the committee that will review bids to clear the land in College Station at Fitch and Barron Cutoff. In May, commissioners chose an architect to design what is projected to be a $1.6 million building. More news is online at WTAW.com. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
Bryan Broadcasting is your home for high school football. Bryan High, A&M Consolidated, Rudder, and College Station High play on the Bryan Broadcasting family of stations. No matter where you are, hear every play, every game, all season long. Thanks to Frost Bank, Ed Phillips Plumbing, Rapid Express Car Wash, and ASAP Equipment. To find out when and where to hear your favorite team, go to brazosfootball.com.
Maroon U is your ultimate stop for brand name apparel, gifts, and accessories for the entire family. From Columbia, 47 brand, Yeti, Dooney & Burke, and Adidas. We're able to outfit you for every occasion. Visit Maroon U and our family of companies on Holloman Drive in College Station to shop the latest in brand name Aggie merchandise. Shop Maroon U today. Voted best in the Brazos Best Gift Shop since 2016. Maroon never looked so good with Maroon U.
Good morning, sports fans. I'm Zach Taylor with your Aggie Sports Minute on The Zone. This Sports Minute is brought to you by Hillcommetta Roofing and Supply. Call 936-825-0500 or click hillcosupply.com. 15th ranked Texas A&M football looks to bounce back this week after falling to Arkansas last Saturday. Coach Jimbo Fisher on what it will take to get back on the winning track.
At the end of practice today, we're pushing and prodding guys, and we started to slide just a little bit, and we're pushing us. And you remember the feeling in the locker room. You want that again. You got to pain a discipline, pain a regret. I mean, you got to train. Winning and doing those things. You can't just say I'm going to do it. Everybody wants to do it, and they do it. All right, when you're the most tired, when you're the most sore, when you're the most banged, when you're the most mentally wore out, when everything is there. My leg hurts, my knee. Doesn't matter. That's what it's got to get to, and we're learning that. I mean, and then you gradually, each team builds all year. I mean, even the great teams I've had, and I say this can be a great team. But those teams that emerged and had successful seasons, they all had. It's a learning curve.
Fisher on his radio show last night. He and the guys will look to get back up on the win wagon this Saturday when they welcome Mississippi State to town. Now, for more insight into the matchup, tune into the Liucci Hour tonight from 6 to 7 right here on The Zone. Aggie women's tennis opens up its fall slate today in Waco as the ladies participate in the HEB Invitational. The event, which also features hosts Baylor, Arizona, Arkansas, Texas, and Tulsa, gets underway today and runs through Sunday. And that's been your Aggie Sports Minute, brought to you by Hillcommetta Roofing and Supply. On The Zone, I'm Zach Taylor.
Listening to The Zone on your Amazon Dot or Echo is easy. Even Louie figured it out. 2 simple steps, and you can hear Chip Howard Sports Talk, TexAgs Radio, The Louie Bellina Show, and many of your favorite A&M teams anytime, anywhere with your special friend, Alexa. Step 1, and only one time, say, Alexa, enable Zone 1150 skill. Then anytime you want to hear your favorite host or teams, all you have to do is say, Alexa, play Zone 1150. Make sure to set it all up and say, Alexa, enable Zone 1150 skill, and listen in anytime just by saying, Alexa, play Zone 1150.
It is TexAgs Radio. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Appreciate everybody listening in. By the way, we're going to get Billy here on the program here in a moment. I don't see him on my on my switchboard, so we'll have the folks there at the Zone do it for me. But all guests that come on the show come on the BCSI hotline, and they're proud to announce their fall LASIK special. Call 979-701-2020 and mention that TexAgs and David Nuno sent you, and you'll get a free LASIK consult and $400 off of your custom LASIK surgery. Many of you have been thinking about going to Houston or Austin or Dallas maybe for LASIK surgery. You don't have to do that anymore because my good buddy, Dr. K, who takes care of me, and his wonderful team there at the BCSI Associates are delighted to give you world-class LASIK eye surgery experience right here in the Brazos Valley. And when it comes to eye surgery, you can't just trust anybody, guys. So let Dr. K and the crew take care of you. They are experts. They do such a wonderful, wonderful job. All right, so let's go now to that BCSI hotline. We are joined by Billy Liucci, co-owner of TexAgs and the executive editor. Good morning to you, Billy.
Morning, Nuno.
How are you, bud?
Nuno? It's a Nuno Friday because Steve's coming in.
Noon, yeah. It's apparently Mondays and Fridays. Peter Burns hasn't done it in a couple of weeks, but you know McKinney, who's known me for a long time, will call me Nuno. That's a fact.
Yeah, he will. It's like Liucci, or Liucci.
Have you ever, you haven't experienced this. Someday I need Dalton or Richard or myself to record. Anytime you call me, and it's not Alexa. Who is it on the iPhone? Siri? Siri says your name.
Liucci.
Yeah. Oh, it bugs me. I feel like I want to train her how to say it correctly.
Billy Liucci.
Yes, that's exactly right. Hey, what are you hearing?
You think she would know how to do she would think she would know how to do a double C.
My
it's not that uncommon.
My car does Liucci.
Okay, I'll take that. Dalton's got what they call a smart car.
He's got a very smart car. So are you hearing anything from your sources, your peoples out there, what kind of week of practice the Aggies have had? And I know that typically you hear, they had a great week of practice, but I'm sure the coaches were drilling south.
I saw that in your write-up, and I was hoping you'd forget to ask it because I feel like it doesn't matter. They had a couple good days last week, but although Anaya Smith kind of confirmed what I was hearing when we said to him that the week didn't start really well over there, and it was something where I think Isaiah Spiller kind of took some leadership there and some ownership, tried to get everybody straight midweek. But the fact that last week didn't start well probably has a little bit to do with why it didn't end well. Look, practice matters, right? It really does. And what I heard, it's funny you wrote that because I kind of laughed because I hate the practice question during the year because we're not out there. We don't see it. And sometimes you hear a bad week of practice and they come out and play their asses off. Sometimes you hear a great week and then you get the whole, Billy, you said they had a good week or they had a good fall camp. How could they almost lose to Vandy? This is bull crap. But the reality is I actually did hear from a couple people that yesterday was, it was the best Thursday practice the offense has had this year. So whatever that means, listen, don't put too much stock into that, I guess is what I'm saying, but there is something to be said for, hey, they ended the week probably with something to build some confidence on heading into the football game. I think that should be where you limit the takeaway to, and then also to say, well, there's several other Thursdays that weren't as good as that one, so that's somewhat, it's promising moving forward.
Well, Billy, see, then the question ended up being fantastic, but I 100% agree with you. The fact that we don't get to go to practice, and no matter what we say, it can be spun the other way. But at the bottom line is, they got to get better, and the coaches know, right? And you're not going to report, fake reports. Yeah. The coaches know if they're bringing it or if they're not.
Yeah, no, they do. And again, we don't apologize for anything we say or do. But my thing is ahead of time just to say, that doesn't mean they're going to come out and be rolling on offense Saturday. It is a positive development, though, and it is something to keep an eye on. It's okay. Is this maybe it was a sense of urgency that was lacking to some degree, and maybe they said as a unit, "Hey, this crap isn't good enough because it's been bad," and maybe it's the different mindset has led to them finishing the week stronger. We'll see. Or maybe they're just getting more comfortable. Maybe they've got the better O-line combination. Who knows? We'll see tomorrow.
Yeah. So when you see, by the way, the thing that I was most impressed of, whether you read the rundown that I make, that really shocked me. That was great. Because for a while I was going to your spam folder.
Yeah, I did peek at it today because actually I looked at it because I was just trying to mentally get in a place to know if we had a guest in hour number one, because I was deciding if I was going to sit here and finish key matchups and then head over in time for the final countdown, or if I was going to leave at 8:45. So that's what I was looking for.
Gotcha. Hey, so, a lot of criticism has gone towards Zach. And there's good reason for it. But in my conversation with Chris Landry earlier in the week, he's like, yeah, he deserves some of the issues out there, but really the wide receivers aren't separating. The offensive line hasn't gelled, moving parts. It's really everything all together, which is why we're getting what we're getting.
Yeah.
So with that, how much of it do you put on what Zach's doing out there?
Well, I mean, I don't know how much, because Landry, like he said, like we've written all week, like we've written all year. It's the entire group. It's why I kept saying I wasn't, when I thought it was Haynes, I kept saying I'm not worried about the quarterback position, because my concern is actually the O-line. Like that's who has to, the O-line's the group that's got to get it done. And so that's kind of been my concern, is just the offensive front. When you had Haynes, then you throw in Zach, who, if you're being honest, Haynes beat him out a year ago as a true freshman. There was certainly a gap there. But I'll say this, Zach has to play better. There are plays where he has blocking. There are plays when he has open receivers early in the progression of the play, and that he doesn't pull the trigger and throw it to. He bails the pocket at times when he does have protection. It's almost like you're seeing like a David Carr, David, not Derek, a David Carr type of thing, where he's kind of seeing ghosts and feeling pressure when it's not there, or you have an open receiver and he doesn't want to pull the trigger for whatever reason, and then he's having a hard time progressing through the routes. A lot of times when he does throw it, he fires it in there with way too much juice or inaccurately, and you saw the interception go off somebody's helmet. That should have been an easy throw. Might have got Spiller killed. I don't know if it would have been a completion, but it shouldn't have gone off someone's helmet there. Just things like that. And he's not giving... Listen, I watch people criticize Kellen Mond for his countenance on the sideline and his demeanor and his body language, all the way up through him going 9-1, 19 touchdowns, 3 picks, 65% completion percent, whatever it was. Orange Bowl 9-1, and all the way to the third round draft pick. And people just trashed him at every turn for his football. Okay, they picked it apart for 4 years, and so much of it, I saw former players, some of whom weren't even very good, ripping him on social media for his body language. Guys that Kellen Mond had done much more than they had for his body language and for the look on his face when he was on the sideline, like things like that. So I've seen him do it to several players. I've seen him do it to Myles Garrett at times. Like, that whole element of it is something I tend to shy away from. Because I think it's just so made up in people's heads, and they just pick it out when they're frustrated, and they'll hold it against these players in any sport. But it, if you really know it when you see it, you just don't throw it around casually. Zach has certainly given off the vibe when you're watching it in person, when you're watching it on TV, that he looks flustered. There's nitpicking and trying to overanalyze things that you know nothing about, and then there's just looking at and seeing the obvious, which is you can tell when a quarterback it's frustrating because you can tell by what he does after the ball is snapped, and you can tell, when they head over to the sideline. And I think that's been the case with Calzada, and I think he needs to just almost, David, just settle down. Settle down and know that, okay, you're going to make some bad throws today. You're going to take, you're going to miss some receivers. You're going to take some sacks. You're going to have times where you don't do what you're supposed to do, but you're also going to do some good things. And if he can just be of that mentality, like, okay, I'm going to come back on the next play and make a good throw. I know what I'm supposed to do here. And yes, everyone else has to help around him. The running game, the blocking, the tight ends blocking, the receivers blocking, those guys doing a better job of getting open, catching the football. Jimbo and Dickey calling a game that I don't want to say that there's a game just to call just for him, because I think they're already trying to do that, obviously, 3 games into his starting career. But figure out what you can do to make something work in a run game, because that's the biggest thing that's going to settle him down, right, is A&M running the football with success. So that's on them to figure out how to get this run game cranked up, and that'll be the first game changer for him. But Zach has to pull his part as well. And I don't want to come down too hard on the guy. And, he started his first SEC game last week, and he looked like it. I mentioned Kellen. You know what Kellen's first start was? Who it was against?
Remind me.
Nicholls State. They benched him 10-10 fourth quarter, or 10-7, whatever it was, fourth quarter against Nicholls State. They benched him. Couldn't get anything going offensively. He looked like he didn't know what was going on. Now, this is Zach's third start, or yesterday was his second start, Saturday's second start, third game. This will be his third start. It's his second SEC start. It's at home. It's time. It's time for him to show significant improvement Saturday. I really believe that. I don't think that's an unfair expectation. Now, I don't think people have been too unfair in their criticism. As long as you kind of point out, like, look, guys got the deck stacked against him pretty good, but you're the backup quarterback at Texas A&M for a reason. There's a reason Jimbo wanted you. There's a reason Kirby Smart tried to steal you away right before signing day. The talent's there. We've seen the arm. This is now. It's like, okay, you got to start making plays and limiting the mistakes and being out there like, guys, I'm going to take us down the field and win this football game. I'm going to take us down the field and get us off to a hot start. I'm going to make the big throw early and set the tone. These type of things. I mean, we've seen backup come in and play well ever since I've been doing this. I've seen them do it against A&M. I've seen A&M backups do it. I've seen it happen mid-game. I've seen it happen mid-season. I've seen it happen, after an injury. We could sit here all day and give examples on both sides, good and bad for the Aggies, but it happens often, and a lot of guys take advantage of it. Look at Will Rogers, the guy that's coming in Saturday. I believe it was against A&M that he got that they benched Costello, brought in Rogers. He led them on a late touchdown drive. Didn't matter. Aggies were up 28-7 at the time, but anybody with a clue could watch and go, man, this guy's better than Costello. He gets the ball out quicker. He spreads it around. He's not afraid to push it. And then, I don't know if it was the following week, but I think the following week they opened it up for competition. And shortly thereafter, Rogers took over, and the Mississippi State offense has looked much better since. So it's just something that, same thing with Johnson last year when he took over for Finley at Kyle Field. You could kind of look at it and go, he looks much better than TJ Finley did. And I'm not saying that you want to sit there and go, man, this offense all of a sudden looks completely different with Calzada than it did King. But 3 weeks in, starting at home, second SEC start, not your first, I'm expecting a jump, David. I really am. I think that's a reasonable expectation to say. You expect him to come in and play well at home.
We got to hit a break here, but I do want to say this. How big to me how he could, I keep pointing, I hate that I keep pointing, but I go back to the Colorado game. When things around him are going well, at least in that performance, he went well. So if the defense can get him the short side of the field, if somebody can break off a big play and not get a penalty, what that will do for him in game, the confidence that he needs during a game. When the mistakes happen, he starts to go backward more. And I'm just thinking, let's just get a little bit of success for him and how he plays then.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right, we'll put
Break time.
We'll put Billy on hold for a little bit. We'll come back with him. We are listening to TexAgs. We are. You guys are. I'm talking. TexAgs Radio presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Want to remind you to text radio to the new number, 833-638-6248. That is 833-638-6248 for your chance to win the Big Friday giveaway, courtesy of our friends at Aggieland Outfitters. We're going to unveil that winner here in about an hour here on the Friday show, so make sure you check it out. It's good stuff here. But today, as I've been showing you all week long, the champion Texas A&M quarter zip pullover, perfect for the fall. Let me get it out there for those watching on YouTube, watching on the TexAgs stream out there, and all around. It's beautiful, and I'll just keep it up. We've got the maroon lettering across the chest, the Aggie box in maroon and white lettering below. It's a champion logo on the left sleeve, white pullover. But the thing I like about it is it's got that heavy material lined with that super soft fabric, so it's very, very comfortable, stylish as well. I love the collar area, whatever you call that thing with the zip. It is beautiful out there. It is the Texas A&M Champion Power Blend Pocketless Quarter Zip Pullover, valued at $69.99. Go check it out at our good friends at Aggieland Outfitters.
It's ESPN Radio. ESPN. Weeknights and weekends here on Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone.
There's a Kubota for every job. There's a Kubota for every harvest. There's a Kubota for every task. And at Normandy Tractor, for a limited time only, take the drive to Normandy, Texas, and let Vernon and the boys show you what they have. Get the new Kubota BX 1880 16.6 horsepower tractor and a Kubota loader with a quick attach bucket now through December 31st, 2021. For a cash price of only $12,950, or payments as low as $170 per month. With no money down, based on 0% down, 1.99% APR for 84 months. Normandy Tractor has over 8 acres of Kubota tractors, Kubota RTVs, ATVs, and Kubota mowers to choose from. They're at the corner of Highway 39 and OSR in Normandy, Texas. And remember, nobody beats Normandy Tractor. Nobody.
Now through December 31st, 2021. For warranty terms, see Kubota's limited warranty at KubotaUSA.com or your Kubota dealer.
Shop local, buy local, save big deals.
It's not every day you can save money. Oh, wait, you can. Hi, Jenny here from Big Deals. When you shop Big Deals, you'll save money every day on dozens of gift certificates from local businesses like these.
Lena Salon, baked or fried, Socorro, Second Chance Resale Shop, and Specialties Photography. Visit AggielandBigDeals.com to save big. AggielandBigDeals.com.
Question: would you pick a chain barbecue place over a hometown joint? Do you root for East Coast universities instead of the local team? Nah, then why choose a big Wall Street bank? A&B started in 1892. 5 generations later, we're still owned and operated by the same Texas family. We support this community. We value your privacy. We make quick decisions, and we hate red tape. We answer to you, not Wall Street. Bank with A&B. Family owned, Texas proud. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Max Kellerman.
I think Joe Burrow's done a terrific job since his time as a starting quarterback. He's young, he's learning, he has a little bit of experience, but not enough experience to win that division. Jamar Chase was the right pick for them and what they want to do in the passing game. The only problem that I have is, can you keep Joe Burrow upright and not on his back throwing the football to a guy that they targeted the entire time?
Yeah, protection is key, but I also think that the mental reassurance after seeing Joe Burrow get hit a couple of times, after seeing him make some people miss. I don't think everyday people who haven't gone through injury understand how dynamic that can make you feel when you start to trust your body again. There's a certain level, like when you get hurt, like you don't trust yourself at the same level, but when you start doing things like that, you start to believe in your own ability, and that can unleash different opportunities.
Listen in to Key, J. Will, and Max, powered by WC Tractor from 5 to 8 on the Zone.
It is TexAgs Radio presented by Dave Gardner's Jewelers here on a Friday, Rollo Insurance Studio. Next Friday, we'll be doing our show there from Rollo Insurance. Have more details for you here momentarily. We go back to the VCSI hotline. Billy Liucci on with us as we get ready for the final countdown coming up at 10 o'clock with the McKinney brothers. And Billy, a couple things I want to get into this segment. First off, we always do this on Fridays, or we try to until our show gets derailed. Who can we expect to step it up this weekend? Who's going to step up and make a difference in this game against Mississippi State?
Man, do we do this every Friday? This feels like your freak of the week or sleeper guy.
Well, it's on the rundown every Friday.
Unit. Well, I don't read the rundown.
Yeah, you do.
I'll give you. Say I did. You're right. I'll give you a unit then in that instance, since we're going to go players later. I think, it goes without saying that the O-line needs to step it up, but on offense, I'm going to say the Aggie wide receivers. And I'll include Weidemeyer in that. But, those guys are going to have to make – you're going to be playing a team that might throw it 40 times. They might throw it 50. He's done that already this year. But they might air it out 40 times. And you're going to see Mississippi State receivers making plays. No matter how good the Aggie defense plays, State guys are going to go and make tough catches. They're going to make catches in traffic. They're going to move the chain. For A&M, those wideouts need to make some things happen. By the way, against a pretty good Mississippi State secondary. So it's not going to be easy, and they're not going to light them up through the air. I think we know that. So when the chances are there, they've got to help out the quarterback. They've got to keep drives going. They've got to make catches in the red zone, which, by the way, A&M didn't run one snap in the red zone against Arkansas last week. That's embarrassing. These guys need to take that to heart. So, yeah, we need to see more of Aniyah Smith. We need to see Weidemeyer make some tough catches and Calzada deliver the ball when he needs to. Those guys caught 6 passes last week. I saw one of my favorite malcontents on Facebook, kind of going back to actually trying to quote a former coach saying that it was a joke that they were laughing about those guys only caught 3 passes each. This guy's a buffoon. They were also each targeted 6 times. Okay, those two and A-Chain, all 3 of them were targeted 6 times apiece. They need to target, I think, Aniyah. I'd like to see him get 8 targets or so if you can. But he and Weidemeyer need to be a big part of this game, and I don't care who else it is. Demas, produce a big play over the top. Could be a game changer or a tone setter like he did a couple weeks ago. I'd like to see the young guys. I'd like to see more of Moose. Jalen Preston, I thought, stepped up as a veteran. Let's see some of these guys come up and make big plays. So I'm watching that unit tomorrow, and that's a group I'm looking at saying, I want to see you guys step up. And on the defensive side, the D-line has to dominate. And the secondary, you need to come away with a couple of interceptions. If State's going to throw the ball that much, there are opportunities to pick the ball off. They just need to come up with a couple. They produced no turnovers last week against Arkansas, and that was something going into the game you absolutely knew you were going to have to do, and they weren't able to do it.
We got Billy Liucci on the BCSI hotline. Billy, when we talk about Aniyah and his big playmaking ability, last week it wasn't a guarantee he was going to play. So how much can the fact that he was able to play, and now that he's had a full week of expected practice at least, a difference that could make for him?
Yeah, it's a big difference, especially with a young quarterback, right? To have him out there all week. And I think Aniyah, just when I asked him, kind of said a couple days. So I don't know what that means last week. Did he practice 2 days? Was one of those days Friday, which is just a walkthrough? Are we counting that, which means he really practiced 1 day last week? Or did he go Wednesday and Thursday? But to have him all week this week is significant. And plus, when you come back from an injury during the week, a lot of times you're not quite the same, but they need to get him the ball, I think, early and often. And that's on Jimbo and Dickey. Is going to be this week. How do we get, obviously Isaiah needs his touches. How do we get 6 and 0 the ball more? They're going to produce. with increased volume, they're going to produce big plays, and they're too talented not to. They're more talented than the guys trying to tackle them in most cases. They're both winners. They got a winner's mentality. Anias is a straight-up dog. We've seen that throughout his career. So I think that's on the staff to figure out. And then obviously after that, like Jimbo might sit here and go, yeah, I had a touchdown play drawn up for A-Chain on the whatever it was, third, fourth play of the game last week, and not a single guy on the perimeter blocked for it, and it was a 6-yard loss. We had a couple positive plays early, the run to Spiller, maybe a Calzada scramble. We were ahead of the chains, and we throw a pass to A-Chain to get your best player the ball easily with a little pass behind the line of scrimmage. We've got blocking probably drawn up how it's supposed to be, and you go back and watch that play, no one blocked anyone because the defenders wanted to get to A-Chain more than the guys blocking cared to keep them off of him. And that's exactly what happened on that play. And 6-yard loss, you're behind the chains, you punt on the first drive of the game. Next time you have the ball back, you're already down 3-0 and backed up again. So that would probably be the honest response from coaches. And you go, okay, here's a play where we did this, here's a play. But at the end of the day, you go, okay, fine. So what you're telling me is we don't have good enough blocking, so you just have to find other plays and other ways to get them the ball, or get some guys out there that are willing to block and punish the guys that aren't, And so, again, tough week of coaching and probably some pretty tough days out there on the practice field for some guys that aren't getting it done.
All right, more with Liucci here on TexAgs Radio, presented by David Garner's Jewelers. But right now, I want to talk about Caldwell Country Chevrolet. They come through in the clutch, guys. Whatever your situation is, they are the place to go to if you are having some issues, if you're trying to sell a car, if you're trying to buy a car, if you just need a person to talk to. Okay, I'm kidding about that part, but they do great stuff out there. When I ran into a little pinch exactly a week ago today, Zach Hester had his crew take care of me. That's just what they do. They just take care of their customers, their clients. And if you're looking for a painless, easy way to find a new vehicle, they'll find the car for you. They'll buy your car at top dollar. That's what they do. Great customer service, great deals on your next vehicle. Simply call, click, or stop by Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Not far from here. 15 minutes, Brian to Caldwell, just a short conversation away. But when you get there on the lot, you're going to see the difference. The smiles, the help, the customer service, they all do that there with Zach and the fellas there at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell and online, CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. Starting Friday, sip your way around the Brazos Valley with Coffee Crawl, benefiting the Children's Museum of the Brazos Valley. Get free coffee from your favorite local shops. Buy your Coffee Crawl tickets online at cmbv.org. The CSHS Cougar Band and Guard will kick off the competition season with a live community performance of their show, Emotions of the Heart. Come out to the CSHS Stadium on Friday at 6 p.m. for the free show. The theater company presents the musical comedy The Wedding Singer. Performances run through Sunday. Purchase tickets online at theatercompany.com. St. Thomas More Catholic Church is holding its Fall Fish Fry on Saturday, October 9th from 11 to 3 at the Community Center at Hilltop Lakes. Your home for football with the Fightin' Texas Aggies, the Bryan Vikings, the Houston Texans, plus Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night NFL from Westwood One is Sports Radio 1150 and 93.7 FM. I'm Chelsea Reber on the Zone.
Start your sports day with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Powered by WC Tractor. Weekday mornings 5 to 8 on 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Or just tell your smart speaker to play Sun 1150. WC Tractor is your local award-winning Kubota and New Holland dealer. Call them with your questions at 1-888-8-TRACTOR. That's 1-888-8-TRACTOR. Check them out online at WCTractor.com. Rise and shine weekday mornings 5 to 8 with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin from ESPN Radio. Powered by WC Tractor here on the Zone.
Howdy, y'all. This is Cullen Gillespie, former 12th man. I've always tried to help my team on and off the field, and now I'd like to help Texas A&M fans like you cut their electricity bills in half. Yep, in half. It takes less than 5 minutes, and you'll save hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars every year. 90% of Texans overpay for electricity, so don't be one of them. Sign up today at EnergyOgre.com and use code GILLY, G-I-L-L-Y, for a free month of service.
Cleanly Touch Janitorial Services, LLC says every 13 minutes a woman in America dies